everybody to the, I think it's the 4th annual general meeting for Awesome. I'm Sian Thomas and I'm an Islington resident. I've been a trustee and non-executive director of Awesome since March of this year. And I was volunteered to chair the meeting this evening. It's really great to see so many people here. I actually haven't expected this many people. Thank you all for making the effort to come and support the phenomenal work that Awesome are doing in the Islington community. I'd like to take the chance to introduce the other board members, or like to introduce themselves. So we'll start with
my name is Michelle. I am a parent and also started on board at the same time as Sian. Started as a parent initially in last year's AGM.
I'm Becky Price, so I'm the director of play but also a representative on the board. Islington resident, so lived here all my life and really passionate about the work Awesome's doing and the Veg Playgrounds. And just wanted to say thank you for being here tonight.
I'm Andrew Ryan. I'm a non-executive trustee. I'm a happy resident. I'm unfortunately I've been involved since the beginning.
I'm Guy Lawrence, I'm the Managing Director for Awesome CIC and reflect Becky's comments. Thank you for coming today.
we also have Maureen.
I'm Maureen from Rowley Playbook at Big Gordon. Also I'm on the board.
And we have
Louise. Hi, I'm Louise. I'm the hires administrator at Awesome and also a staff and assistant on the board.
I think we're missing Dawn Jarrett, she might be late coming. And we also have apologies for the department tonight. So we've got 1 hour allocated to this evening's meeting, so if I could please ask you to save any questions to the end. Point number 7, any other business questions. We'd rather try and stick to the agenda and get through it as quickly as we can. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Awesome on having a terrific year. I personally followed the progress of Awesome through another Islington resident who joined the board at St Hans Avenue as a non-executive director at the beginning in 2016. I can remember speaking to her after her first meeting with the board, and her words were, "Sian, these guys are so amazing." She said they are awesome, and the name of the company fits appropriately. After spending the last 8 months with them, I most definitely agree with this. They cannot be beaten in terms of their dedication, their passion and their selflessness. I know that every single employee is appreciated within the organisation, that every single child and parent is considered individually. I had not previously fully appreciated the Adventure Playground is not just a place for children to play. It's also a place for children and their families to develop. And it's an essential community hub that provides support to all the local families. An example of this is the provision of the all-day holiday clubs allowing parents to work. This year, 3,273 children attended the 6 playgrounds run by Awesome, and 486 hours was dedicated to Saturday family play sessions. That's those are incredible figures. We mustn't forget that in order to keep the playgrounds running, there's a terrific amount going on in the background that isn't visible. And Guy, Becky, Louise and the team, they all work tirelessly to continuously move forward with new ideas, to ensure the safety of the playgrounds, to improve stakeholder communication through the website, etc. To train staff to think of creative ways of raising more money in order to improve the facilities. They will speak about that a little bit later. One of the unique things that they do is all the money they raise are put back into keeping the buildings safe. Awesome represents a diverse and inclusive community where everybody's opinion matters. It has been responsible for positively changing the lives of a great many children and their families. I've been really touched by some of the individual stories, and I look forward to hearing some of them later. I believe some parents are going to speak. Last year at the AGM, Michelle, as a parent, spoke about how Awesome had supported her family, and she has consequently joined the board. Michelle's contribution has been invaluable. In particular, she has been the beneficiary of the services provided by Awesome. I congratulate and thank every single one of Awesome employees, the board, volunteers, the children who attend the playgrounds and their parents for their contribution to an extremely successful year, and it will continue to be a successful future. So I'll hand it to Guy to move over to the next point, number 3 on the agenda.
So hopefully everyone's able to see our impact report. We left one on the chairs for you to have a look at. And I think as an organisation we're often challenged to show what difference we make. So even though the staff hear it from the children every day, when they see them smile and they're leaving, or they don't want to leave because they're having so much fun at the playgrounds, often to keep adventure play in Islington and to keep these kind of services going, we have to justify why they and what difference they make. And our staff are constantly trying to think of ways to evidence that. And often the strongest way is to hear it straight from the young people's mouths and parents and carers' mouths. So we pulled a report together, and as Sean's just kind of said, some of the highlights for us this year were the fact that we had 3,273 children attend the 6 playgrounds that we manage across Islington. And obviously that's not the limit for us, because we want to do better. We know we can do better as an organisation. But I think when we look at the total out of the 12 adventure playgrounds in Islington was around 4,200. That's quite a high number for us, managing half of that adventure playgrounds to be able to have those many children come through our door that are Islington residents or go to school in Islington. We're constantly obviously trying to give back to the communities that we're working. And this year, through the summer, we employed staff to help us through the summer holidays. And we had 93% of those staff were from Islington. So same again, trying to give back to the communities that we're working. And just again, that we're always trying to look at new ways to ensure that the playgrounds continue and move forward. I'm going to hand over to Becky just to talk a bit about kind of the impact. But before I do, just to point out on the page 6, which is beyond the playground and the community store, I can't thank, because when we look at play and adventure play across England and across London, not all playgrounds are able and their staff are willing to do residentials. And it's one thing that our staff are committed to the children. They know what benefit the residentials give children and young people. And last year we was able to do it now and residential. This year we've been able to do more residentials. It's something that is in the DNA of play workers and our staff. And also without the community sports, so we have a lot of volunteer groups, corporate volunteer groups, who support us in terms of giving back and keeping the maintenance of the playgrounds. So I'm going to hand over to Becky just to talk a little bit about the measuring it.
So yeah, as Guy said, measuring our impact, how we've tried to do it this year has been slightly differently. We call them case studies, but we'll refer to them as stories. So we've asked each playground, and that's the playwork coordinator and the playworkers they work with, to think of a child or think of particular children and the benefits the adventure playground has had on them. And that could be socialising, to watching them be really creative, to a child that's starting that's really shy and actually have found that since coming to the playground they've come out of their shell, they've built friendship groups. And we're really fortunate that as an organisation you often hear people talking about measuring impact and they're looking at finances or they're looking at the impacts they've had within the organisation, but actually as play workers we have the lovely wonderful job of seeing an impact on a person. And that's from a young child coming at the age of 6 and watching them grow in the adventure playground and actually moving around sites and not just staying at one particular site but moving across the 6 different playgrounds and seeing them develop as people and turning to young people when they're able to challenge themselves. And the staff, not just at King Henry's but the other 5 sites, are there to not guide the child but to let them make mistakes. To give them that safe space that they're not going to be judged, they're not going to be criticised for doing anything wrong, but actually they're able to learn from watching other children play. They're able to observe children playing. So, and in school, you have playtime, but what can you actually do in that playtime? You come here, you can build fires, you can do forestry school, you can do whipping, you can do cooking, and add all weird and wonderful things, and it might not taste great, but that's fine. And we've tried to include that this year in here with the measuring impact. So please do read through the stories of each playground and look at the different areas. So we've tried to focus on learning, creativity, health and well-being, independence, and all looking at how how with each child that's really developed and grown. And so thank you for the staff for doing that, and that's something that we're going to keep continuing to focusing on is case studies and looking at how we've made a difference. I'm sure the children that are all eagerly sitting at the front here looking at the pictures, and I won't ask you and put you on the spot because that might be embarrassing, but hopefully from you guys coming to the playground there's things that you've learned, and there's things that you've learned not to do, or things you've learned to do really well, and then can go and invite your friends and tell them to come as well.
Like, say something, guys.
Go on. Yeah.
The adventure playgrounds also help like people in their own time, and you also get to like they help people out with work. If an adventure playground was shut down, some people would not have an area or a place to go.
Very much. Thank you very much, you're right.
Yes. The other side of it is obviously to keep these lovely facilities going. Often people don't realise how much needs to go into this, and like I said, I thank the volunteer and corporate volunteer groups, but you will see also with our finances where we've had to be creative as an organisation, look at different ways of raising money to keep these facilities going and to keep the upkeep of the facilities. And we're the first to say that we know and we try and keep them up, but some of them do need a bit of TLC, and we're always looking at creative ways to how we keep the facilities, and we want the best for children and young people, so we don't want them to have the worst facilities. But you can see in our finances that we have things like facilities hires where we're trying to be creative and do children's birthday parties to try and generate money. All that money goes back into maintenance, it all goes back into activity, resources for play. We get money from holiday lunch clubs, so trying to support parents who need to go to work but can't afford the high childcare costs, and we offer a 1 hour childcare service so that children can stay from 9 all the way through to 5:30. So we're hoping that that's making a difference to some families. We appreciate the income that comes in from that because that goes back into the playgrounds for maintenance and for upkeep. And we're always looking for donation, applying for grants. And the other income is where we've had anonymous donations, or we've had projects where that money's been left over and we've used that back into supporting the playgrounds. So I'm going to hand over to the next section, which I believe the playgrounds have some parents who want to give a bit of a feedback of what difference the playgrounds made to them. So I'll hand over to the playgrounds if you want to introduce your parents.
Yes,
Should we go? Yeah, alphabetical order.
We're doing alphabetical order with
oh, the whole club, yeah?
You said alphabetical. You're the nearest to me, you've got the best seat.
This is Layla, the mother of her farmer. She's kind enough to come
So I was asked just to speak for a couple of minutes on what I feel about Barnard Playground and why I think it's such a wonderful place that all the children, particularly from my children and friends. They come every Friday afternoon and they look forward to it every week. I could probably speak for hours on just how special the place is actually. I thought the best people to ask, like you did before, were the children. So I said, what is it about this playground that you love. You know, you go and collect leaves, you hang out in the cold. You would never do that anywhere else. Why do you like going there? And the answers were varied. I like the tuck shop, the sweets, the spray painting, the activities, the zip wire, but they all said people who work there who help us. And it is help and teaching and learning. I have to read it today. And that is, yes, Sarah and Michael and Jonathan and Vincent, yes, before you. It's a really terrific team, and there's such a sense of energy and fun and mischief, but also learning. And I think it's a wild space. I haven't seen many of the other playgrounds, but obviously I'm going to explore now and there's so many of them. To watch them there, the children sort of uncontained in that space, just completely free, but also in a very safe environment, so you can take risks. Like you were saying, you know, you don't really get to do that at home. She could spray paint something, but it's unlikely, you know. And she's trying, she's pushing hard for it, and thanks for the inspiration. It's just that sense of freedom without being judged, the sense of exploration. And without parents like me saying, oh, you might slip on a leaf or fall off the, single wire. And my daughter has invisible learning difficulties. She struggles with coordination. She has sensory processing issues, and that has resulted actually in quite severe anxiety at times. And this playground has been an absolute godsend. And I have watched her and her friends grow in confidence, not just physically, socially, emotionally. And it's not like they're there all the time either. They're regular on a Friday, as regular as they can be. But even just that has made such a huge difference. You know, she couldn't jump off a curb before, literally, she would struggle. And now, when I come to collect her, she's like launching off this 3-metre high platform. I don't want to watch. I call them. No one wants to come home. Everyone's disappeared. Mark has to go and get them. You know, that's freedom. I think partly it's being outside. You know, we're hemmed in. It's central London. All the playgrounds are smaller. School playgrounds are smaller. There's fewer and fewer spaces. Not all on bikes anymore. Racing around like I did as a kid. So to have that sort of swallows and Amazons bit of magic right in the heart of London, it's just magic. And this team here, all of you clearly, but my experiences with this team is exceptional.
Thank you for going in alphabetical order. We've got Kate next. Yes.
My name's Ben. I'm the play coordinator at Cape, and Heron has politely and kindly come along today to speak about his 2 children who attend Cape Adventure Playground.
Yes, hi, my name's Heron. I just want to say that Cape, the children find it a fantastic venue. Basically, they're going to Ashmore schools, so they come out of school, and they just love the staff. They find the staff really welcoming. They really enjoy their time there. I think we're all saying the same thing ultimately. The staff and the setup is just tremendous. The children really enjoy it, and I just want to say thank you.
Wallace, I think, we're going alphabetically.
Hi guys, I'm Christine, I'm the play coordinator at Wallace. I couldn't get my parents to come, she called late, said that she wouldn't be able to turn up. But, in replacement, some kids. I thought it would be great to hear first hand from the children. These 2 here are now young helpers, junior helpers, and they help at the playground. So I'm going to hand over to them and they're going to tell me about their experience.
Hi guys, I'm Mia, and just wanted to say that Wallace is just a lovely place to be. The workers are so lovely, and to be honest, without Wallace, I don't know what I'd be doing.
I'm Richard. I've been to 2 different playgrounds. One was Cape. Cape with my original with Matthew and Otman were there. Mike was also there for a bit. Maureen was there. Yeah, I was there for like 4 years, no, 3 years, and then I moved down to that Cornwall area. And I've been in Cornwall pretty much for the past 3 years. Like, it's helped me a lot with my confidence and everything like that. Like, it's quite fun, actually, like, even being a young helper, because it just helps you with everything, really.
What stuff do you do as a young helper?
Everything that I work, basically everything that I work is there.
Okay.
I think King Henry is our host.
Right. Can I have my parents up, please, by the chance as well? Don't mind.
This is like no warning.
Never mind. I'll say something. I'll give you your hands.
Sorry, my name is Errol and I work with King Henry. And
Sorry,
there we go. Well, now I've got 4 parents. There's going to be 5 and 1 phone up to take with me. So I will leave you these lovely ladies who will talk about King Henry.
Okay. Without King Henry's, as a lone parent, I would have never been able to get back to work. So in terms of the essence and what gives to children, I think it's been very well expressed. I would like an accountant to work out, if I could not work, how much money the council would have to spend on me not working. So if somebody could do that in the audience, I think that absolutely qualify why these places need funding. Because when it comes to the love, the nature, the 1970s feel, which they don't get anywhere else, it's
Yeah. My daughter comes here for a recommendation of Roe. She was raving about it, saying, look, she has to come to King Henry's Walk, it's a great adventure playground. You know, as a working parent, I can't say, like, how much value you get for money. Olivia comes, like, Monday to Friday, during the holiday, all the half term, and it's just £5 for the lunch club. And she's used a lot of childcare providers, and I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart that none of them offer such good value for money as the play scheme. The amount of fun she has, she comes home, she's happy every day, she's excited to go, and it's really
very dirty.
Yeah, very dirty, a little bit wet. But you know, she has a great time, and I think for community cohesion, it's really good because she's made a really good network of friends as well who live like in the local community that she didn't know through school. We could be walking down the road, she's like, hi, where do you know them from? They're from a rented playground. So I think for community cohesion, it's like a real benefit to our community. So I just want to say to all the staff, thank you so much.
I'm Lorena, I'm Steve's mum. We are very new to King Henry's Walk.
Probably on the recommendation of
We got to know through obviously the school visits, all go to
they all go to the same school.
and I'm a childcare worker as well, and I work with little ones, and obviously with my inspector's eyes, I was looking around, and I was so pleased to see that this was not only giving my child the opportunity to grow as I grew back in the 80s in my case. But it was, I could see that all the staff all the team. They were amazing to her. I had a few, awkward, weird situations. I was, as a single parent as well, it was very good to know that my child, for the time I'm at work, my child has been very well looked after. And not only looked after, but she's given all the best opportunities to grow from climbing and, she's hurt a few times, she's got hurt a few times, and, it's all through learning. It's lovely when she comes dirty, home dirty, when she says, I spend the whole day outside. Really, you didn't even stop, no, lunch outside. I was like, wow, you don't get to see that, especially around Italy. So it's a very good place for her to be. And I team and whoever put this amazing project out. Thank you so much.
Recommended to this place. I was driving past and I thought, well, what is it? So I've come in and I found it to be going to a playground, but it was so, I could see the kids running around, and so I thought I'd bring Nico in. But what's so good about this is that on Saturday, sometimes I've got to go to work and I don't feel guilty about leaving him here because he's safe and he's happy. And also, I don't think you know, but Nico's quite shy, so you have to keep introducing him to people and keep forcing him to play with people, but here he just runs in and he just runs in and signs his name. At first I thought, what are you doing in there? Like everyone else is out there signing his name. And he's just learned so much to deal with different people in different situations. We went to Greece and Nico's being bored, like just beating everybody. I said, where did you learn that? He learned it here. And it's really good. Also, as a single parent, Nico doesn't have many role models, male role models that are in sleep chairs or maybe family members who we don't see quite often. So when he comes here, he learns how to perhaps act in certain ways from Matthew and Harold. We also learn how to be polite and learn how to help other people. And he's really enjoyed himself. I don't feel guilty at all.
I think the next is 3 corners.
My name is Andre. I work at 3 corners. This is Maureen. I think she doesn't need any introduction. And I have 2 lovely parents who can speak about 3 corners.
So my daughter Melody and Tia, they've only been going for about 4 years, and prior to them going, I remember being outside the fence at 3 corners and my kids were like, when am I 6? When am I 6? When can I go? And so they both now go, but I didn't realise that Cornwallis still existed. I grew up playing Cornwallis as a child, for many years, and my memories there are just fantastic as well. And so much so, one of the workers there is actually now godmother to my brother's children because of the bond that, and her name was Gloria, actually. The bond that we made with the workers, and my children now have got bonds with Maureen, Reese, Ivy. I mean, they just come home and they talk about them, how lovely they are. It is just a really valuable service that we all provide. I could go on and on, but the play, it's like everyone said, it's just an environment where they can just be themselves, they can get messy, and they're made to kind of play with others and not judge others, resolve their own problems. I feel happy leaving them there when I'm at work and when I'm not at work as well. And I know that they can turn to the workers if they've got problems. And sometimes children find it hard to talk to other people. Well, I try and encourage them to talk to me, but sometimes they do want to talk to others. And I know that you guys are there with you, you will listen, and it's just an invaluable service. So thank you.
obviously my daughter loves Three Corners. She would go there every day if she could, but I don't allow her because she's got other commitments and homework. Just like the other parents, as she runs in, the minute we get there, and I don't see her. I actually shout for her, and then Andre or Maureen's like, oh, she's run over there, or she's run over there, but she's gone. I think for me, it's the fact that they are teaching our children transferable life skills. And it's also a crucial point for a lot of the children in their lives and in their development stage as well, and that they're having a hand in that. And obviously the children are just learning different things about life, as in the activities, that life isn't just one path or one avenue, there's many different options and there's many different things that you can do. And the responsibility they take on as well, I mean, and they're so on it, they care about every single child, probably more than they actually mean to, because I can go to Maureen and she's like, right now, before I've even finished the sentence, she's on it and she's going to deal with it. And as a parent, it means so much, because even as mothers, we worry about our children every second, every minute. The anxiety we go through, no one would ever even believe, you'd never know. But the fact that we have this establishment and the workers that take a little bit of pressure off us and a little bit of that anxiety away for those hours, I don't worry about Riley when she's at 3 corners, not at all. And it's just a beautiful thing, and I can't believe the government is so stupid that they won't invest in places like this and get these kids off the streets so they're not out here killing each other. So, it's just
And last but not least. Why are we always last?
Say as much as you want.
Shit, I feel I just like to know before we start, even though we may say things that you've heard already, it came from us first.
Hi, I'm Sarah, the coordinator at Waterside. This is Ray in Otman, and this is our parent Levon, who's here to talk about her son Joe and their experience at Waterside.
Just like all the other parents, Joseph loves Waterside. He's very boisterous, loud. Every holiday, when the plans his holidays, like Waterside, before school's even out. At Waterside, like this week, none of his school friends were there. So he came home and he's like, I made new friends. So it helps him a lot with, it's not just about my school friends, but I know. So he also learns to deal with different personalities. Like when it comes to this person wasn't treating him well, or that person wasn't treating him well. And Ray, he loves Ray. Who doesn't? Come on, really, who doesn't? Ray helps him to deal with situations and have confidence in himself to deal with it afterwards. So he doesn't constantly come home saying things. It's like it's dealt with and he goes back and does and deals with it on his own. So for me, it's a plus, especially for the work thing. Before that, I would have to take up my holidays. Actually, the first time I went to Waterside, I ran out of holidays to take for like the half term and stuff. And then I was told about Waterside and it existed. I didn't know any of the platforms existed, even though they did this in 15 years. So, wow. Yeah. You never told me that. It was one of my co-workers who told me about Waterside. And it was the best thing for me and for Yoga. And I would like to thank you to everyone and everyone. Well,
Next year we're first.
Thank you everybody for those thoughts. I mean, there's no better testimony than from the parents themselves. Thank you so much. Now, Guy's going to talk about the vision for the future.
Yeah, so just kind of leading on from, you'll see in the report there's some of the things that we're looking at, and we've been listening to parents. We did consultation before around kind of what might make things easier, so we're looking at developing a new website. We're hoping to be launching it in the next 2 weeks. Part of that new website will hopefully be easier to navigate. We've realised that a lot of parents are looking at websites on their mobile phones rather than computers, so we've tried to make it very mobile phone friendly, so you can see what's happening at the playground, you can quickly get contact numbers, you can see what's happening. We've also tried to make it playful for children and young people, so they've got their area, so a lot of the recipes that they make up on the playgrounds, we're going to get them to put their own content online so it can be shared with other children. I think the other vision, and we just heard the last parent there say about the fact that she lived in Islington for 15 years and didn't know about the playground. We're constantly trying our best to get the message out there, and this is part of us today celebrating the impact that we've made and people saying the difference that the playgrounds have made. But for some reason, obviously we don't have the budgets that you would like to post it on every bus in Islington and every billboard. But we have our social media, so please follow us on our social media and share us with your networks. And I think it is word of mouth. We heard today a lot about how parents, who are not aware that these great resources are there for them to access, and it happens by word of mouth. We're constantly trying to get through schools. Often the messages don't get through because they see it as competition. A lot of schools have after-school clubs that you pay for, so often they don't pass on the messages that we're trying to give because we're a free service. So the vision is twofold in terms of we're looking to make registration easier online so that parents and children register once but can access any of the 6 playgrounds that we manage. We're also looking to find new ways of investing money, so we're trying to raise money by looking at training at the minute. So as you heard, we're looking at young leaders. We're also going to be looking at apprenticeships for people coming through. So if we've got young people in Islington who might be going to uni to do some more playwork training so they can help us out in the summers and in the holiday periods, and we can employ more local children and young people, or young people should I say. And that might be also a spin-off of that, is looking at how we can share training that our staff have with others and generate some income that way. So our plans are to continue to build exciting things for the children, what they want. So King Henry's is one of the phases that we're still waiting to do. We've done little bits, but there's lots more to do. We've been doing things at Cape, so they've now got a new slide. So a lot of the money's reinvested in terms of what children want. So they've been asking the slide, and literally it is a sewage tube, so you've got to go through that. Yeah, but it's the most creative slide and probably the exciting slide, and accused of just being huge for the slide. But it's again, it's all led with children and young people. It's what they want. We're not about getting someone and raising the money to have someone come in and put play equipment. This is about what the children want. They're part of building it as well, so they take part in building it and helping in the ways that they can. So yeah, the future for us is to continue, hopefully, as an organisation that can manage the 6 playgrounds in Islington, and hopefully we can have more parents and more of the community that come to help us show Islington that these are required resources and it's worth us keeping. Thank you.
Communication with our Labour councillors.
So we've invited all the councillors in every ward, but unfortunately they wasn't able to attend today. We're videoing. Oh, we've got one. But what we've decided to do, so we've set up a little camera at the back, so we're hoping we can send the report to all our local councillors so that they can see the impacts that the playgrounds make, and we've hopefully recorded some of the comments that you as parents have made that we can also share through our new website when we launch it. So we're trying to get the message out there as much as possible, and your support is hopefully going to keep these resources around. I know Islington are committed, because they're committed to 15 years worth of funding, but all the extra to maintain buildings, to keep them to the level that they're at, and to have the kind of relationships that we've had from staff. So, I mean, often the buildings are the places that anyone, I had some parents say that they used to go to playgrounds in the 70s. It's not about the buildings, it's about the relationship with the staff in a different environment. It's not a school environment where someone's telling you that you need to follow a set curriculum. They have the freedom to be able to explore and choose. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at for the future, and we're hoping with everyone's support and creative ways of finding the extra income for the maintenance that we can keep these resources going for many years to come.
We've just got some boring bits. We just have to approve the minutes for last year. If anybody disapproves them, then say now, otherwise we agree. Do you have any other?
Yes, so I think under our general business, just to let you know, so as part of our Articles of Association, every 3 years we have to have members that step down and the opportunity to be elected. Because I don't know if anyone, we haven't really said a lot about this in terms of our organisation, we're employee-led. So we spun out of Islington Council in 2006 because we was, the majority of us was Islington Council employees. And we're employee-led as an organisation, as a non-for-profit. So most of the things that we do have to take a staff vote. And we put out, so every 3 years it's for board members who are staff representatives to stand down, and they can be re-elected or new people can be put forward as candidates. So it was just to announce that we put out the opportunity for our staff to stand as board members, because we had 2 people stepping down. No one new came forward, so it was just a matter of us voting on Becky, who's a board member, and Dawn, who's on Centre of Police. She's not able to be here tonight. And the staff voted both members in, so it was just to say that luckily everyone's happy with the work that they're doing, and they're being voted back in. I think that's it.
That's it. Any questions?
Yeah. Because you mentioned the website, I didn't know there was a website.
So that's so we our current website is it's awesomecic.co.uk. But on the back of this, so please take this. You've got all our social media, so please follow us. You'll see exciting pictures of the things that children get up to on our Instagram, like what you're seeing on the slideshow. You'll see on our Facebook similar things, and on the new website we're looking to launch within the next 2 weeks, so please look out for signs of things. But the new website address is on the back of this, but it's not live yet. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll be transferring to the new website.
I don't know how viable it will be, but if there was a provision that you had paid for the lunch club or any trips online.
So yeah, we've taken it, so parents have said that in the past, and where we're at the minute is we've looked at the options. We even looked at Parent Pay, we've contacted Parent Pay, but we don't have the funds that schools have. So the subscription to Parent Pay, we were shocked because we thought it would be a low costing service, but it's quite expensive. So at the minute, the cheapest, so we don't get bank charges other than paying in cash. So at the minute, for a lot of parents, we're trying to balance the moving forward with technology. That's why we're looking at the online registration with what works for them. So for some parents, paying cash is easier, and more accessible. And then for others, online would be easier. So we're trying to find something that is cost effective for that hours childcare in holiday times for parents to pay. But other than that, obviously our services are free. So and the same for donations. So we're hoping in the future that might be something that we're able to do. It's part of our business plan. So the money that we do get from Lunch Club, without that, we wouldn't have enough to operate the times. So even extending the opening times, because it used to be 10 until 5:30, we've now open from 9 because of parents'
that really
contribution.
great.
So, and we did pilot for a short while 8, as in a breakfast club, but the take-up wasn't great, so we've now moved it to 9. So we are listening to the feedback that you give us, and we're trying to, where possible, make those changes.
This is just an idea I had, just in terms of fun. As I said, I didn't know about this place, I was recommending it through Ryan. I think a good idea would be to raise funds and raise awareness, and maybe to have like fundraising days where the kids and parents get involved as well. It's more like a community event, where we need a whole annually or quarterly, like on a Saturday on the weekend.
What's interesting, and I think it's something for us to take back, and I suppose not just for us as an organisation, but I think Islington as a whole, because what I'm hearing from you as parents is you have family information surveys where that obviously is not getting the information across. We have, so each playground does have community events, but we also have a big one that we're doing in partnership with another provider, which is IPA, who manage 5 of the other playgrounds. And we have play day once a year, so we try and get all the Islington residents together. We advertise it across. It's often funded by local councillors who contribute so that we can have this big day, and we're trying to put it. So it's obviously that whatever we're doing for the communication strategy is not reaching every Islington resident, and I think we need to look at how we can better
Advertising, as I said, I think the advertising you mentioned it before, it's a great facility, to be honest. I was paying hundreds before Olivia came here for a 6-week holiday, and because I didn't know, I didn't know. And it is a fantastic service that you offer, you know.
And I think that one of the conflicts with schools and our school culture in terms of schools do not have maybe then schools and then
and a lot of our managers try and work with schools. So a lot of our places, when they have inset days and parents are struggling, we try and put things on them. So there is that communication. It doesn't always work in every school, because every school is a different entity, but we do try and reach those out.
Also saying that maybe they for somebody who takes the children up to the school and brings them to here. Because I know at St. Jude's, that's another school, I think they have a teacher who does that. Now, I don't think a teacher at Newton really would do that.
Because they have a provision. And their provision is good, it is very good.
It's also very expensive, So it is good, but they're really good. Somebody could pick 4 or 5 children up, would pay them a small fee to then transfer 4 or 5 children to them.
And I think each playground, I think that's a great idea. We've tried it before and we haven't had a take-up, but that doesn't mean whatever playground, so if it's this playground, it doesn't mean that Errol can't try again, because I think with things like that, the barriers that you've just said are normally the barriers that we face, which is that we can do, which we don't want to do, is upset the school because they already offer a service that they're trying to promote, or that there's not enough parents who would want a walking bus. And sometimes it might be us training up a parent who's willing to operate a walking bus. So as a volunteer, as an organisation, we can support parents and how to do that, because there's lots of schemes around how to set up a walking bus.
Just an idea.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
See that little clip on?
Sorry, so yesterday, Three Corners won the most inclusive award, Adventure Playground 2019.
Context that London Play, which are an umbrella group supporting play across the whole of London, they have an annual event where they invite all adventure playgrounds and different play services to for the children to develop their own video of what their playground's like, and we had more than one playground. All our playgrounds put applications in, and they attended a film screening, so there's playgrounds from all over London that attend this. And Three Corners this year, I think King Henry's won it last year, this year Three Corners. Previously we've had Cape, so as an organisation we're doing well with our playgrounds who come out with trophies for the event.
Any other questions? Anybody else want to say anything?
No, just thank you for coming tonight. I know it's a Friday night and it might not have been your first choice.
Can you open on Sunday?
Well, you already know the answer to that.
You don't run it.
And I would say with that, if you can help us find a way to do that, we can.
I know you advertise for birthday parties and events where they come and play. What's the take up on that?
So that at the minute, that is what's basically in terms of kept us going and being able to make sure that we can make the changes on the playground and structures. That we have been able to, so two of our buildings had, which we contributed and Islington Council contributed to, had roofs that needed replacing. So that income that we get from basically children's parties helps the infrastructure, the maintenance, and I don't think anyone will really realise maintenance of buildings and having 6 buildings. Some of our buildings are quite old, some of them are made of wood, similar to this. Some of them are so commonest is a wooden log cabin. So the take-up of trying to maintain the sites, maintain the grounds, maintaining the structures, making sure that we're meeting all the requirements that children have a safe environment, risky in terms of the risk that they want to take, but safe environment to play. That level of resource is constantly, that's what the income goes into. At the minute we haven't been able to move beyond that, and that's why we're looking at more creative ways to raise funds so that we can start to look at other aspects of what we can do to continue to make these community hubs and look at other ways that we can support families. We'd love to have more opportunities for parents in the daytime and children in the daytime, but at this point in time we haven't been able to raise or work with partners to do those kind of things. But those are things for the future where we want to get feedback from the community and look at how we can put things on. Yes.
Can I possibly quickly say something?
Yes,
Yeah,
oh, the stage is over to you.
We just want to say something about Henry's and how it is. I think about Henry's book, it's really nice, and when my mom's busy and she's going to work, I come here. I really love it, and I've made new friends, and I've played, and I've had so much fun. I really enjoy going to King Henry's, mostly over term time, and it's a really fun place to just go and hang out with your friends, not normally from school and from school. And it's sort of a nice place to just let all your energy out. And the staff are really nice here, and yeah, it's quite wild. But at the end of the day, I love going to King Henry's. About King Henry's book is the people, and they show love and respect, and they just really care about you a lot, and it just feels like you're welcome here. And it's when if your friends don't come, then you can always make new people because all the people are friendly here, including the adults.
Anybody else want to say? You have more to say? Okay, I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks for taking the time out of your lives, your really busy lives, to come and spend it here. I think the highlight for me this evening has been the kids. Thank you so much, kids. It's really important that you express how you feel about this place. And thank you, everybody, for coming.